All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel again. Now, this video here is a continuation of the Piers Morgan interview with Big Homie CC, where he talked about if Diddy walks, I'm target number one, and that he left America. This was the part of the video where he's going to be talking about Justin Bieber. Again, remember Big Homie CC is a bodyguard. And I know this brother has seen a lot. I said before, the bodyguards, the limo drivers, hotel people, those are the ones who are going to see and know a lot. If they're going to talk or not is up to them. But he's been doing some talking. So, appreciate y'all. We ain't going to waste no more time. Let's jump right into it.
Justin Bieber seems to be a guy under a tremendous amount of pressure right now.
He does.
And I remember meeting him working as a bodyguard for a gentleman by the name of David Strauss. And he would take his nieces and nephews to Bieber concerts. You know, I've been backstage several times. I've met him. And then seeing him now, he's like a shell of himself.
Man.
There is a battle between good and evil taking place. And a lot of these people make agreements. And, you know, when Whitney Houston died, the last person to see her was Ray J. People don't.
Oh, this brother. Hey, you got to remember, you got to, as we're listening to this, even though he's talking, as he said earlier in this video, that it's almost like he's talking, but he's like speaking in code. You got to read in between the lines. When he was talking about a lot of these people make agreements, yeah, and basically when it's time to pay up, yeah, a lot of times you don't think it's gonna be what it is, and it end up being something worse than what you signed up. Like the whole I didn't sign up for this. Yeah. So the last person he said is Ray J.
Speak about these things. Why does Bieber seem to be so emotionally unhinged right now? Especially when these topics get brought up, it seems you see the shame and the despair in his face. Just like you just asked me to divulge some information about violence in my history. It's gonna be the same thing for Mr. Bieber. You know, if I was to come up here and confess to malice murder, it would be untrue. And when you see these entertainers, you know, they do have a brand they have to protect. And any sign of weakness or partaking in lascivious acts, that could damage their credibility and their fan base. So, you know, I feel like some people's NDAs still haven't expired, you know. I gave certain people video of Combs coming out.
This, like, he has said everything that I be talking about. This brother said some people's NDAs haven't expired. I'm telling you, y'all got to realize, man, and I've said this before, but when you approach someone with bukus of money, I'm talking about stacks on top of stacks, money that they never thought they would even be close to in their lifetime. When you approach them with this money and say, this could be yours, and you have to sign your name on that dotted line, a lot of people see the money, they see where they got to sign it, and they just real fast. They don't even read what they're signing. And then all of a sudden, when stuff starts to come out or the money starts to get low, because you know they're going to splurge and they need a re-up, what you going to do for it? And them NDAs, boy, they be, hey, yeah. Oh, man. The fact that he said that, man, it's good to hear, because that's what I be thinking.
Ability in their fan base. So, you know, I feel like some people's NDAs still haven't expired, you know. I gave certain people video of Combs coming out, collecting everyone's cell phone himself personally. Why do you have to collect everyone's phone if we're gonna have a festive evening? You know, if you're gonna be doing things you're not supposed to do, you're probably gonna take everybody's phone. And you know, when you're promising people a career and their name in lights and all of these things, you're getting sweat equity out of them for just that instead of compensating them.
And you got to remember too, when he took them phones, he took his kids' phones too. You know what I mean? So it's like, what the hell are you doing around your kids to where they can't even have their phones? You know what I mean? I saw Diddy, he was telling Quincy to get a phone. You saw Christina Quorum, you saw all these people, and he had a bag. Come on, give me the phones. Like, what are y'all doing on a yacht?
People are going to try to pursue litigation. That's all that's taking place.
Big homie, it's another amazing interview.
Thank you, sir.
You speak very eloquently about a world that I've never inhabited, but I've interviewed a lot of people from it. But they're often quite circumspect about what they reveal. You're unusual. You're very open about it. Is it, in a way, is this because you've left that world now in your head?
Yeah, you know, I don't want to be that person anymore because when I had to pivot my business, and once I see them, I'm like, oh, okay, you know, I need to do something about it. You know, every day I get messages from ladies telling me that they feel safer just knowing that I'm alive. And like, you know, that means a lot to me because, you know, without ladies, there is no life. So I think it should be a learning situation for a lot of people. And I feel like, especially as a black man, you know, I felt like the level of operations and the thought processes needed to be raised in my community. And I feel like I've been accomplishing that. And I'm happy about it. It's like I got 1,000 more moms and grandmoms. I get people pray for me every day. I'm in the grocery store hugging little ladies. I did what I was supposed to do, and it paid off for me. I'm blessed.
Big homie, great to meet you.
Yes, sir.
In my studio.
Absolutely.
I enjoy our conversations.
Yes, pleasure's mine, sir.
I really appreciate it.
You better be careful hugging people in public, man. Because look, you never know, man. I just remember, you know, working all those years in retail, it'd be like the oldest ladies shoplifting. What he said, though, is extremely true. And it seemed like he had his wake-up call. You know, when you are a bodyguard, that is a very, very dangerous lifestyle because there's a lot of people out there who want to become famous and be known for, you know, taking out a certain celebrity, you know, like the whole John Lennon situation. You know, people are messed up in the head and they don't mind throwing away their lives to take out another person's. So it seemed like he had a wake-up call. You know, maybe this Diddy trial, just hearing everything going on, just, you know, because I think what he was saying with his business is like, because a lot of these dudes who become security guards, bodyguards, you know, they make some good money. And a lot of them will invest and end up, you know, starting their own security company. And, you know, with their own business and stuff like that, and just have like a team of guys. And they may not be the one going out anymore. But my whole thing is that when you start to hear all these stories and you that moment when you sit down with yourself and go like, you know, like, damn, man, like, because a lot of these dudes, you know, they're paid to not only keep these people safe, but also to keep quiet from a lot of stuff that they see. You know, when you talk about like people battling demons, the whole good versus evil, a lot of these people have protected people that have done some evil things, and it can consume you, man. To me, it seemed like he might have had a wake up call. You know, I know he talked about if they come for him, he's ready. That's just the human nature, like as far as like his defense mechanism. You know, the antlers are up. He's ready because this is the stuff that he's used to. It's not gonna be easy trying to escape and get away from this lifestyle. But yeah, man, you know what he was saying about Justin Bieber is it's just the price of fame in a nutshell. You know, you as the older you get, like you looking at Bieber and he's a family man now, and you looking back at how you got to the top, and you may be questioning things that you have done in the past. And now again, I don't know what happened. We're all just speculating. But like with the trial and all this stuff that you're hearing, I mean, it just, from the outside looking in, it just seems like he's affected by that. We could be 1000% wrong. But I mean, he ain't, not saying he has to, but he ain't said nothing. So yeah. But again, man, the bodyguards, limo drivers, people in hotels, these are the ones who have the stories. I mean, look, you had a guy who had the tape of Cassie, you know, who knew what was going on, and that happened in 2014, and we're just now hearing about it. So yeah. Hey, appreciate you guys coming over. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Peace out.